It all started with a small SaaS company in Finland. Today, it's used in over 80 countries around the world. The journey, anything but easy. Lessons learned, key insights, hard-earned experiences. This is the founder's point of view.
Welcome to Founder's Point of View podcast. Today we are going to talk about customer experience, right?
Yeah.
So basically, after this episode, you will know everything you need to know about customer experience.
That's true. You are not going to see the word similarly after that.
Exactly.
After that podcast.
And in today's episode, I will act as an interviewer, interviewing Johannes about the customer experience. He's the professional telling you the truths about customer experience.
That's true. And I'm going to, all the information I have is based on the interviews, the customer interviews we have done during the last 10 years, like tens of thousands of different kind of deep interviews, and also millions of the feedback what we have collected together with our customer clients, the companies, and from their customers. So I'm going to use that information and also some kind of studies and other topics which we have learned during the years.
Exactly. And a couple of things to notice before we start. First thing is that customer experience is not a one part of the whole customer experience. It's the whole game, right?
Yeah, it's the whole game.
Yeah.
I have one good memory from that about this topic, that I remember that I had a conversation with our potential client, and the CEO of that company told me that we want to develop the basic things before we invest in the customer experience. Yeah. That was, I think, the biggest mistake what you can do in business, that you think that the customer experience is something which you do after the basics, because it's the core of everything, that you focus on customer experience and you understand that well.
Yeah, exactly. And another important point is that when you are doing customer experience well, your customers stay, but they also recommend you. So that's why it's super important thing to do it properly. But let's go to the topic. So first question: why customer experience matters right now?
The first thing is that we live in a fully digital world, so everything is happening digitally, and if your business and your customer experience is not found in Google, your business doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So you need to be visible. You need to show everything related to your company, and the better you show behind the curtains and what is happening actually with your clients, the better reputation you will have, and more eagerly your potential clients are acquiring and using your services. So that's number one. So in a digital world, you need to show everything, and people are also waiting that they will get information about your reputation and what your customers are thinking about you, and they will find it. And if they don't find that, that means that your business don't exist and you are a scam or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is that because of the digitalization and the internet, the competition is global, and all the features can be copied pretty easily. and are actually copied. And there is anymore, you cannot compete anymore just with your local competitors, but the competitors are coming to your area outside of Finland, outside of your own country, outside of your city.
Exactly. And especially now in the AI era, especially for the software industry, it's super easy to like start competing towards someone.
Yeah, and copy all the features. That's the other thing, and the third thing is that the customer chooses.
Yeah.
The customer chooses nowadays. They make decisions that what kind of service providers or companies they use and they want to serve, and they don't wait. They want to have service now. They try to avoid all the disappointments, and they are waiting also very good service from everywhere. And if they don't get it, they think that okay, I will find a new one. Because they can Google, because they can use ChatGPT and everything, it's pretty easy to also find the new service providers if things are not going well or working well with your current one. So that's why, in the end, the customer experience is the only way how to differentiate from your competitors, because all the other things can be copied.
Exactly. And that's basically, at least for me, nice to hear that you can still like differentiate yourself from your competitors by your customer experience, which is nice. You still need people for the process and for the customer success team and so on.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about business impact of customer experience next. We have some facts, nice facts here. 91% of disappointed customers, they don't buy again.
Yeah.
And also 80% would pay more for a better experience.
Yeah.
What else? What do you think about the business impact?
Yeah, the customer experience is a better criteria for the service provider selection than the price actually. So the customers are ready to buy more if they can get better customer experience. And of course, I think that the many these kind of facts support the thing that of course you should invest in customer experience, because you will get more clients through your current clients. If they are happy, they will recommend you to the friends of them, and they will tell your story, and that's of course understandable that is the main thing why you should invest in good customer experience. But the other thing is that those clients who are advocates, who recommend you to the others and who are happy, they are actually 25% more profitable than the others.
Exactly.
So all the money facts also tell the story that you should invest in customer experience a lot. And you will get the investment back pretty quickly because of the money facts related to the customer experiences.
Exactly. So the business impact is real, and
yeah.
No, that's also a fact that most of your customers, they do the purchase decision based on the recommendations. So
yeah,
it's really important thing to.
It's also very sunny now.
Yeah,
people who are
nice winter day here.
Watching this podcast through the video, you will see the sun. Finally in Finland.
Yeah, sun and lots of snow.
Yeah.
Okay, so for someone it can be confusing that we are talking about customer experience. Is it the same as customer satisfaction, or what is the difference between those? So what do you say? What does customer satisfaction mean?
Customer satisfaction, when we talk about customer satisfaction, we mean, and typically people mean that the customer satisfaction is related to the one trigger point or contact point between the customer and the company. So it is measuring one contact point between those two elements, the customer and the company. So it's just a small part of customer experience.
Yeah.
And when we talk about customer experience, we mean everything related to the connection and events and what is going on between the company and the customer. Everything from the first point when they see the logo on the side of the car or logo in the ice hockey rink, from the moment where you do a contract to get with the company and you get the service from them and you get an invoice from the company. It's taking everything into account when we talk about customer experience.
Yeah. So it's not just one thing which happened at some point of the journey. It's how it felt after the whole journey, right?
Yeah. It's taking everything into account. The customer satisfaction is just a small part of that, and it is used. So if you want to measure the customer experience, you need to measure tens of different kind of contact points during the whole journey.
Yeah.
And measure the customer satisfaction from all of those points to get the full understanding of what is the total customer satisfaction over everything and what is the total customer experience. So that is not easy to even measure in that way.
Yeah, it sounds like there are like lots of different layers, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty hard to. So far, I think that the listeners maybe they have also thought that okay, how I can understand the customer experience in a way that I can develop that or I can lead that or manage that. I can see that what's happening inside of our company and how we can develop the customer experience of our company. And I remember that the main theory for me, especially and also for Trustmary, was when we found that there are actually three kind of layers or levels of customer experience.
Yeah.
And through those levels, it's more understandable to develop everything and see that what's going on and what we should do differently and so on. And the first level is the active functional level. So it answers the questions that did we do what we promised? Did the clients get what we promised them to have? So that is the first level, and so there's everything like when you are answering the phone, when you are delivering the product, when you are sending the invoice. So all the activities during the whole customer journey is in functional level.
Yeah.
And that's pretty understandable level also. And that's actually pretty easy to measure in case of customer satisfaction. So you can ask what you are waiting for, what did you wait to get, and did you get that?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's pretty easy to measure that level.
Commercial break. Trustmary in 30 seconds.
Trustmary helps companies to automate the review and feedback collection and utilizing in their marketing.
We are a Finnish company, but we are already operating in 80 different countries.
Our product is especially designed for the companies doing service-oriented business coming from traditional industries.
If you need any help related to these topics, just reach us out on LinkedIn. We are happy to help.
And now back to the story.
The next level is the emotional level. So based on what you thought to get, thought to have, So what were the standards in your mind when you were purchasing a new thing?
Yeah.
So if your standards were very high, so you were rating a high level service, but you get something not that level, your emotional will be more negative than the positive. So based on the standards, based on the assumptions you had, what you were rating, there is going on different kind of emotions, and those emotions can be negative or positive. So that's the emotional level, and the last level is the highest level is the meaning level, and that can be measured through the stories and connections, especially the stories told, for example, in public sauna in Finland.
Yeah.
That the men are telling the stories about the good car repairers or kitchen renovation companies, and what they did for them, and what kind of people were working there, and things like that. So that's the level of everything, and it is not easy to measure, but you can hear that through the reviews, actually, and case studies and interviews of people, and so that is the highest level. And I think that those layers and those levels, they were very important for us when we started to those levels were core of everything when we did those customer experience studies and researches for our clients through the phone calls. So we check the functional level, we check the emotional level, what is actually what consists of things going on in functional level, and then the meaning level. And that was the way how we started to understand the full picture. That was the way how we were able to also develop the customer experience of our clients, the companies who we were serving, when we understand those three levels.
Yeah. So if you think this from the customer's point of view, the journey is full of different like contact points and satisfaction moments, and now we know that it's also full of different levels. How do you feel? How do you experience things, and so on? What kind of defines the customer experience at the end of the day?
Yeah. Really, typically, maybe we think that if there is a more positive feelings than the negative feelings, the total score of the customer experience is positive. That's the way we typically think, but that is not actually true, because how the memories is made in our mind, and how the total experience is made in our mind, it's actually following the peak and the end rule. That is a psychology rule created or found by Daniel Kahneman and Barbara Fredrickson tens of the years ago, and that's a peak and the end rule. That means that the experiences in our life and also the customer experiences are judged by the highest peaks and the ending of the experience. Those two things are correlating most to the total experience what we get from when we do things. So if there is a lot of negative moments and the negative emotions and the feelings during the journey, that doesn't mean that the total experience cannot be positive.
Yeah,
If you do everything right at the end of the customer journey.
exactly.
So that's very important to notice. So as a company, you should understand that what moments and what contact points during your typical customer journey are the moments where you cannot miss the standards and the things that your clients are waiting for. You need to understand, okay, this is the moment where I should do everything right, and they are waiting that kind of level. Or in another case, there will be too big negative peak, and that negative peak, feeling, emotion peak, will influence and will make the whole experience bad.
Yeah.
So that is something you need to understand, and also in a positive way. What you should understand is that even there is a lot of negative things happened during the customer journey, and you don't have done everything well. In the end, you can fix everything if you take the customer seriously in the end, and then you fix the things well at the end of the customer journey.
So the overall goal for the company is to like beat the standards and make memorable experiences, to form kind of stories for their customers, which they can tell forward and so on. Like we have told, it's like the journey is full of different touch points, and every single touch point forms the story somehow. What can a company do?
Yeah, I think that first of all, you need to understand that if you do basics well and you understand that the customer experience is happening and it's taking everything into account from the first moment to the last moment during the customer journey, and you understand that, okay, let's do the functional level well enough, so we try to be better than the standards what people are having in their mind when they are waiting our service or our our service. So let's try to do basics well. Then there will be the positive feelings and positive emotions, and hopefully the total customer experience is more positive than the negative, and they recommend us. But there are actually four different kind of categories related to how to create those memorable experience peaks during the customer journey. And the first category is delighting. So every time we have a relationship with our client, we should think about that how we can delight our client, and it doesn't need to be big. It can be just a small surprise what they are not waiting to have in the typical process with the typical company of your industry. That's the first category, and there are thousands of examples what you can do with the clients related to that. And the second category is respect, and how you can show the respect to your client, what is omaisuus in English? Asset, and home, and the relationships, the relatives, and the hobbies. Are you interested in those topics? And the third category is insight. So can you give a new perspectives to your clients, to your customers? Can you change the way how he or she thinks about work and himself or herself? So that's the third level, and the fourth level is connection and the community. So if you can give a feeling that as your client, they are part of something bigger, They are part of some community. So that is also a very good way to build those emotion peaks.
Yeah. Great. So with those 4 ways, you can basically form the customer experience and form the story and like increase the likelihood to make good end for the story and so on.
Yeah.
But if you wanna really like turn customer experience into a growth engine for a company, you still have to change something in the company culture and also take a couple of things into account. So how about those?
Yeah. The first thing is that you should have some kind of plan. It doesn't need to be too deep plan and too detailed plan, but some plan about your ideal customer experience and the customer journey of your company. So what should happen, what should not happen during the journey with our clients? What we should take into account when we start the customer customership and when we end the customership and everything related to that. So some kind of plan. And then the next step is, of course, to measure that what is the current state of your customer experience. So start to measure at least in the end of the maybe invoicing, after the invoicing, and after you have serviced your client in the first case. So you have the project is done is done, or you have provide the service you promised to do. After that, do some kind of measurement and ask questions related to the customer journey. So that is at least the one thing what you should do. So measure the current level, and when you start to get the feedback from your clients, then you should start to share that information with everyone inside your company. So not just for you as a CEO or top manager. That is not the information only for you, but you should share that information to everyone in your company.
That is the way to really change the culture.
Yeah, that's the way to change the culture. So, for example, with our clients, we really recommend to show that feedback and publish that feedback and the reviews on Slack channels, on Teams channels, on WhatsApp, or everywhere.
Yeah.
So that everyone can read that and get the understanding needed to improve the actions and the functional. So that is the third thing. And in the end, when you start to get that feedback and the reviews, of course, you should publish that also outside of your company, to the marketing, social media, your website, to third-party review platforms and the places. And then you start to get the benefits, the objective benefits of an objective value from investing in customer experience, because you are going to get more new clients and more money and more revenue.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So at the end of the day, we can say that a great customer experience is like a great story, right?
Yeah, it's a great story, but I'm happy to tell that to my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, getting back to your sauna example, which is great. Like the customer experience is the story what your customer tells when you are not at the same place.
Yeah. When everything is done right, that is going on.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if everything is done well, the story is positive. It has some kind of influence to the other people who are relatable to those who are telling those stories, that they also want to be a client of your company.
Yeah. Right. All right. That's all for today. Thank you and see you in next episode.
See you.